right now, let's see. So we'll be breaking a world record today. We'll be doing 1,000+ sit-ups in the least amount of time. And I'll bring up what exact world records we're gonna go for today. Right? Let's see. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me see. Give me 1 second, guys. I just didn't want to keep being late, so I had to start the stream now. We're about to start in the next 1 minute. Let's see. Alright, sorry for the wait. So today, we'll be breaking the Guinness World Records. The most sit-ups, like doing 1,000 sit-ups in the least amount of minutes. So let's look up what's the current record so I can show you guys. Then I'm gonna put a timer on and then try to beat that time. You get what I'm saying? Let's see. World record for Alright, so let's check. The most Okay, guys. So I asked ChatGPT, what's the world record for sit-ups? What is the world record? And we're trying to break the world record today. So it says performances. Jack. I don't know if you guys can read that. Let me hold steady. Let me see. It says, hold on, let me turn this shit on Do Not Disturb. Alright. So if you go to performances, it says Jack LaLanne reportedly completed 1,333 sit-ups in 23 minutes. You get what I'm saying? Averaging about 44 sit-ups, 44.9 sit-ups for per minute, which implies finishing around 1,000 sit-ups, around 1,000 sit-ups in roughly 22 to 23 minutes, right? Then you got Steve Soko, 1,000 sit-ups in hell no, 1,000 sit-ups in 16 minutes and 37 seconds. Multi-event challenge. This gives much faster reference point, though it may not be an official world record. Where is it at? This shit gotta be official, like. Man, where is this guy at? I wanna see this shit. Why is it never no live video of them doing this? Why isn't there ever no live video of them doing this? You get what I'm saying? That's annoying. Okay. So the one that's official is Jack LaLanne. 1,033 sit-ups in 23 minutes. You get what I'm saying? I'm for sure going to beat that record today. However, the unofficial record, I'm still going to try to aim for that one too, even though it's unofficial. Alright? So we're about to start. We're first going to warm up and stretch, and then we're going to start. Eve, come here. Come here, Eve. Like, if we do 1,000 sit-ups in 16 minutes a day, that shit gonna be crazy. Come here, Eve. Come on. So we gotta beat 1,333 sit-ups in less than 23 minutes. Which is easy. I already did that, but I just didn't do it live. My home video is just doing that incline. These recent screens, bro, I don't feel like talking because my nose is stuffy. So I'm just trying to get this working. All right, now we got shoulders. And we're doing the front ways. And I'm stretching my upper body for tomorrow. Because we got 1,200 push-ups. Alright, so we finished warming up the upper body. Now I usually do jumping jacks. That's 100 jumping jacks. We usually warm up the upper body. And then we do the jumping jacks to get the blood flowing. And then we start on the lower body. Then we do some balance. We start stretching with the lower body. We do balance-based stretches. I usually stretch for like 30 seconds to 1 minute. Each limb, each part of my body. Alright. Now we're gonna go cross. Oh, I can put this up here now. And we bring it across. And remember, on day one, my balance wasn't like this. About 3 months ago, it was. Alright. Now we're going straight up with the ankle twist. Now we're going straight across. Now we got here. Then we got the ankles and the calves. And the toes. Now I'm doing front ways to get my shins. Now I do the other leg. So then we first got calves. Then we got toes. Then we do it front ways to get the shins. Alright. Let's check this internet. So we're gonna break the world record today. The world record is 1,033 push-ups in 23 minutes. I'm gonna beat that by a few minutes. You get what I'm saying? Alright. Alright, what we did so far? Oh, we got ground stretches. Let me get some water real quick. These live videos is gonna be less scripted. I'm not trying to be perfect no more on camera. Plus, the watch time is good. I'm not trying to be too. My main thing is to just show up and be on time and just break records and give value. These waters is $1. I'm talking about for a case of 12 Ethiopia, you spend $1 for these spring waters. Let me see. I used to do these ankle rolls when I used to hoop. That helped me with my ankles. Because with basketball, you got sharp cuts all the time. It's important that your ankles is loose and flexible. These shoes I got on are so so bendable. So the ankle roll feel weird. Alright, I guess I can do more warm-ups while I drink water. I pulled my groin in high school, and I don't know why. That warm-up always helps. Alright, so we just got ground stretches. As far as lower body. So first, I usually start like this with the groin. Then we hit the knees and the thighs. Next, we hit the groin again with this sitting down stretch. Then cross that leg, put the elbow right there. This help with the spine, well, with my spine. And when you're doing a lot of sit-ups, this stretch is one of the main stretches that help. And then you can stretch it down here while you got your leg crossed. You're gonna feel it all in your hamstring. Then you just do the other side. Every time I do this, I get a nice stretch, like in my spine, in my. We just got one more leg stretch, then we go into the upper body. My bad, man. I had to restart this internet. Sometimes it be cutting out. I just don't want it to cut out when I'm doing these fucking sit-ups, because that's going to be annoying. But I just got to stretch my upper body. Let me start stretching. So I warmed up my entire body. Then I started with some balance and some balance type stretches where I got to work my balance and stretch at the same time. Then like I said, I stretched my entire lower body, my toes, my ankles, my calves, my shins, my knees, my thighs, Everything. Now I gotta stretch my upper body, and then we're gonna start. But yeah, we're gonna try to break the official world record, and we're gonna try to break the unofficial world record. The official world record is 1,033 sit-ups in 23 minutes. So obviously I'm gonna do it less time than that. I'm gonna do it for less time than that. I'm gonna beat that by a few minutes. Then we got an unofficial world record where a guy did 1,000 sit-ups in 16 minutes. It's unofficial. Like I don't see these even on pre-recorded videos. I don't even be saying this shit. But I think doing them live is my type of style, so that's why I'm doing it live. You get what I'm saying? Hey, what's up, Pascal? We breaking the world record today. So for you watching in, the official world record, right? As you can see, Jack LaLanne reportedly did 1,000 sit-ups in 23 minutes. That's 44.9 sit-ups per minute, right? So I'm gonna break his record today, obviously. So we're gonna be number one in the world when it comes to sit-ups. Then we got some unofficial record. Let me show you guys this. It seems insane. Steve, you see, Steve Sokol, 1,000 sit-ups in 16 minutes and 37 seconds. So that means I gotta do every 5 minutes. I have to at least do 300 sit-ups. If I could do 300 sit-ups per 5 minutes, I'll beat his record for sure. Cause I'll do it in 15 minutes. You get what I'm saying? And I'm gonna beat this shit one day this week. Cause we ain't gonna do nothing but keep compounding. We gotta beat that record on the way to our personal record, which is right now we at 1,300 sit-ups non-stop. That's live. I did 1,500 non-stop before, but this is live. The other ones don't count. So 1,300 is gonna be our record right now. 1,300 non-stop. We're not only trying to beat our previous time while doing more. We're not only trying to do 1,300 non-stop. We're trying to beat two world records. The first official world record, 1,033 sit-ups is the world record right now. 23 minutes. Now, my home video, I did that in 20 minutes, but that's pre-recorded. That don't count. We're going to do it live. Then we're going to try to beat the unofficial world record by doing 500 to 600 sit-ups every 5 minutes. And then that should be his world record. And we'll be number one in the world with sit-ups. You get what I'm saying? So these are just live. You get what I'm saying? For everybody to see, like, oh, okay. We got like 3 more stretches and then we done. We're going to start. So like I said, we got to beat 2 world records today. And we got to beat our personal record. The first official world record is Jack LaLanne. He did 1,033 sit-ups in 23 minutes. So if we beat this, we'll be officially number one in the world. Then we got some unofficial record, Steve Skolal. He did 1,000 sit-ups in 16 minutes. You get what I'm saying? We're going to try to do 1,000 in 15 minutes. How about that? How about that? Oh, let me finish scripting. Because if I could just do 60 per minute, we'll be good. We'll be good if we can do 60 per minute. Alright, so we just got a few more stretches. Just a few more. I used to think stretching was annoying, but it helps so you don't feel sore the next day. So you're supposed to warm up and then stretch. That's what I do. That's not advice, but I warm up before stretching so I won't pull a muscle when you stretch. If you try to stretch a stale muscle, it's going to be like a stale rubber band in my opinion. And then it have a potential of pulling it or popping it. Alright. The reason why you want to stretch and warm up your arms is because for you guys that do high endurance sit-ups, you'll notice that your arms get fucking tired. So in order for them not to fall asleep, what I notice is that it's good to like warm up and stretch. Alright. We got about like 2 more stretches. And from stretching consistently, like from the beginning of this, I can feel a difference in my body. Like I feel more looser, more flexible. Alright. Now I want to do one more thing. I want to stretch my wrists and my fingertips. I'm stretching my wrists and my fingertips. I just do this so, I think they said something about arthritis. I'm just trying to prevent arthritis in the future by just stretching everything every day. Now, I wish I had a sauna. I should have brung like a fucking, you can make a sauna like a rice cooker and put it in like an insulated environment. I think I'm gonna make my own sauna on screen one day. I think I'm about to do that. Yep, I think I'm gonna go look for a rice cooker, and I'm gonna go get a fucking tent or some shit. Ah. Now we got front ways. All right, that's enough for the wrist and the fingertips on the right finger, the right arm. Now we got the left, and we're gonna start. It's important to stretch every part of your body, your fingertips, you know, your toes, your ankles, your shins, your calves, your thighs, your knees, your behind area, your groin, your abs, your spine, your wrists, your forearms, your triceps, your biceps, your shoulders. Shit, I think I gotta do more neck stretches too, to be honest with you. We almost finished. This was the last stretch. I just had to stretch my wrist. Alright, so we all warmed up. There's no excuses. We need to beat one of these world records. We need to. It's not no. We have to. It's not no fucking excuses, bro. We trained all week for this. You get what I'm saying? By next week, we should be at 2,000 sit-ups, non-stop. We add an extra 100 every time we do the workout. You get what I'm saying? And I used to do these on incline. Believe it or not, for me, incline is better. You get what I'm saying? For me specifically, incline sit-ups is easier for me to do. I don't know why, but that's just me. You can look. You can go to my other videos. I was doing 1,000 and like, I was doing 1,000 like there was nothing, and I was doing them in way faster time. You get what I'm saying? No, I back then I would just do 500. So I would do 500 in like 8 minutes sometimes, bro. I'm not lying to you. You know what I'm saying? All right, we hydrated. I just need to go be excused really quick. Then we're gonna start. We got 1,300 sit-ups non-stop. Every like is worth an extra 5 sit-ups. But fuck the likes. We just trying to break the world record today. So let me just sum this up really quick. I did a little research, and there's 2 world records. Jack LaLanne, he did 1,033 sit-ups in 23 minutes. We're obviously gonna break that. That's the more official one, right? Then we got Steve Seagal, 1,000 sit-ups in 16 minutes. I think we could break that. I think we could break that today, and if not today, this week. So we're going to accomplish our personal record, which is 1,300 sit-ups nonstop. We're going to break at least one world record, right? One world record. And the one we're going for, that's guaranteed today, I could pretty much guarantee this. Like, I would literally have to catch a cramp from drinking too much water to not beat this today. Jack LaLanne, he did, let me see, he completed 1,333 sit-ups in 23 minutes. We're obviously going to beat that. We're obviously going to beat that. But what I really want to go for, since there's no excuses, right, is the unofficial world record. Steve Seagal, he did 1,000 sit-ups in 16 minutes and 37 seconds. That's what I'm going to set my alarm for. So give me 1 second. Let me just excuse myself, and then we're going to start. And you know what? Since there's not that many people tuning into this one, I might throw on, I might just throw in a book or something and shit. That's what I might do. Give me 1 second. I might just do that and then set an alarm. Should I do that or should I just listen to the instrumental? Let me see. Which one should I do? I think the book. Alright, I want to listen to a book while I accomplish, while why I do this. So let me buy this internet package real quick on this phone and throw on this book. Let me do this. Let me try to exercise the mind and the body at the same time. I don't really care about. I don't really care about the views on this one. This is personal for as far as personal world record. I mean personal record and breaking the world record. So let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. All right. Let me get this internet package. It only take like 10 seconds. Cause I'm using that internet, but I don't want to fucking combine the internet to slow the stream down. That'll be contradicting. Internet package. Daily limit. 1.2 gigs. That's all I need for a book. Cause I got 300 gigs on this mobile hotspot. I just need to put on this book. Come on, hopefully this shit is not connected to them. Alright. Give me 1 second. I gotta make sure. We about to start in the next 1 minute. I just gotta turn on this book. I wanna listen to a book while I do this shit. I was listening to some music or instrumental, but I wanna just finish this book real quick. I got like 20 minutes to 30 minutes left. Even though I won't be working out that long, because I'm gonna try to beat the world record, but I wanted to listen to a book. Let me put this right here. Alright. Let's see. I restarted the phone after I got this internet package. This shit need to hurry up. Alright, it's fast, it's fast. Come on, hurry up. Alright.
But thought. We may divide thinkers into those who think for themselves and those who think through others. The latter are the rule, and the former the exception. The first are original thinkers in a double sense, and egotists in the noblest meaning of the word. Schopenhauer. The key to every man is his thought. Sturdy and defiant though he look, he has a helm which he obeys, which is the idea after which all his facts are classified. He can only be reformed by showing him a new idea which commands his own. Emerson. All truly wise thoughts have been thought already thousands of times, but to make them really ours, we must think them over again honestly till they take root in our personal expression. Goethe. All that a man is outwardly is but the expression and completion of his inward thought. To work efficiently, he must think clearly. To act nobly, he must think nobly. Channing. Great men are they who see that spirituality is stronger than any material force, that thoughts rule the world. Emerson. Some people study all their lives, and at their death, they have learned everything except to think. Domergue. It is the habitual thought that frames itself into our life. It affects us even more than our intimate social relations do. Our confidential friends have not so much to do in shaping our lives as the thoughts of which we harbor. J.W. Teal. When God lets loose a great thinker on this planet, then all things are at risk. There is not a piece of science, but its flank may be turned tomorrow, nor any literary reputation or the so-called eternal names of fame that may be refused and condemned. Emerson. Think, think, think. Chapter 18. Jesus' idea of greatness. In the 23rd chapter of Matthew, Jesus makes a very plain distinction between true and false greatness, and also points out the one great danger to all who wish to become great, the most insidious of temptations which all must avoid and fight unceasingly who desire to really climb in the world. Speaking to the multitude and to his disciples, he bids them beware of adopting the principle of the Pharisees. He points out that while the Pharisees are just and righteous men, honorable judges, true lawgivers, and upright in their dealings with men, they love the uppermost seats at feasts and greetings in the marketplace, and to be called master, master. And in comparison with his principle, he says, "He that will be great among you, let him serve." The average person's idea of a great man, rather than of one who serves, is of one who succeeds in getting himself served. He gets himself in a position to command men.
All right, guys, we're about to start. We're about to break the record.
Making them obey his will. The exercise of dominion over other people to most persons is a great thing.
All right, so let me pull up the world record before we take it over. Come on, who told you to restart? What the hell? Okay, so we're about to break this world record. Eve already have a world record. She caught the most balls in 1 minute. We was in the Caribbean when we did that. But now it's my turn. We got Jacqueline Lane, historical benchmark, 1,033 sit-ups in 23 minutes. We now about to create a new historical benchmark. We're gonna beat that by a few minutes. Then second up, let me see. Is it any runner-ups? You get what I'm saying? Let me see. Give me 1 second. Let me try to look for a runner-up. So historical benchmark. Someone did. This guy already beat his shit yesterday. 1,000. Not yesterday, but the day before. In 54 minutes. I'll do that almost every day. So what about doing what's as fast as twice? Let me see. No one did this challenge twice. That's weird. Because I do this almost every other day. So, most sit-ups in 1 minute. You see this shit right here. 71 minutes. 71 push-ups in 60 seconds. I'm gonna destroy that record as well today. So we got Jack LaLanne, 1,033 push-ups in 23 minutes. We're going to beat his record today. We're also going to beat Pavon record, 1,011 sit-ups in 54 minutes. We obviously going to beat that. We always beat that. You know. And then someone else, personal record, they did it in 19 minutes. We're going to beat that shit too. That's unofficial, but we're going to beat that. Now, let me ask ChatGPT, because I was just reading something earlier. Didn't someone complete in 16 minutes? Or was that unofficial? So it says, yes, there was someone who completed 1,000 sit-ups in about 16 minutes and 37 seconds. But, right, it isn't an official world record. The claim comes from an older coverage rather than from an official verified record list. His name was Steve Scolall. We gonna fuck around and beat his shit too. So we gonna try to beat 3 world records in one video. The most amount of sit-ups in 1 minute, which is 71, we're gonna try to do above 71. We're gonna also beat the world official record for for the fastest time for 1,000 sit-ups. The guy, he did 1,033 sit-ups in 16 minutes. I mean, not in 16 minutes. He did 1,033 sit-ups, and he did it in, his name was Jack, and he did it in 23 minutes. So I want y'all to see that. Jack did it in 23 minutes. So we're going to be number one in the world when it comes to the fastest times, do 1,000 push-ups. We also going to beat the world record and try to do 71 sit-ups. No, 72 plus sit-ups in under 1 minute, so that we can pretty much beat that world record, the most sit-ups in 1 minute. And then we're going to try to break the unofficial world record, which is 1,000 sit-ups in 16 minutes and 37 seconds. So that's 3 world records we're going for. 2 of them was official, which is the most sit-ups in 1 minute, which is 71. We're going to do 72 plus. And then the world record, 1,033 sit-ups, in 23 minutes from Jack. We're going to beat both of them. So we're about to start in the next 2 minutes. And we're going to listen to a book while we're doing it. My nose is kind of stuffy. So there's no excuses, bro. Because if my nose wasn't stuffy, I probably would have even better results. Where is this charger at? Like I said, my nose is stuffy. So there's no excuses. Once I break this record, I don't want to hear nothing at all. Steve or Jack, I don't want to hear nothing. I gotta start off fast if I want to break the first world record, which is the most sit-ups under 1 minute. The reason why is because later on you can get tired, so it's best to just knock that out first. Let me set the alarm. I know if I try to aim for Steve's unofficial record at 16, I know for sure I'm gonna beat the other one. You get what I'm saying? So let me go to the timer so y'all can see. We're about to start. Let me actually put this right here. Alright, so you see it? Right? First, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to break it down like this. I'm going to try to do 72 sit-ups in 1 minute before the alarm go off. Then once the alarm go off, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to set the next record for 16:37, right? And then if I fail that, well, if I complete that, then I'll beat all the world records, even the unofficial one. Hold on, let me put this shit on me. So I'm gonna set two timers, right? Because on here it says right here, right? Let me just scroll down so you guys see. 1 second. Where was this at? Bro, I was just looking at it. Alright. Then once that alarm go off, unofficial Steve did 1,000 sit-ups in 16 minutes and 37 seconds. So that'll be this next alarm, right? So I'm gonna put on a book after 1 minute, and while I try to beat Steve's. But we all know, we're gonna beat Jack's, which is the official world record. We all know it. It's not no secret. His is 1,033 and 23 minutes. Obviously, if I'm aiming for Steve's 1,016 minutes, I'm gonna beat Jack's. That's the saying, aim for the moon. Even if you don't land on the moon, you're gonna land amongst the stars. This is a real life example of that. So I'm gonna start the alarm first, and then we gonna do the 1 minute challenge, and then we gonna aim for Steve's record. And in the midst of trying to beat Steve's record, obviously we're gonna beat Jack's 1,033 sit-ups in 23 minutes. So give me 1 second. Bro, the internet keep going in and out, so if it freeze, I'm gonna be so heated, bro. I'm gonna be so heated if it freeze. Like, what the fuck? Maybe I gotta reverse the camera so I can see if it froze or not. Actually, I can just check on this phone. Yeah, I'm gonna just check on this phone. Alright, so let's start. Alright, so this is the social media intro. Okay, guys, so today we'll be breaking 3 world records, 2 official ones and 1 unofficial ones. The first official record we'll do is the most sit-ups under 1 minute. The most sit-ups in 1 minute currently is right here, 71 plus sit-ups in 1 minute. We're obviously 71 plus sit-ups in 1 minute. We're obviously going to beat that. So let me start it over because I keep moving the mic away from my mouth. So I gotta start right here. Alright. Okay, guys. So today will be alright. Let me see. Let me start over. Alright, guys. So today we'll be beating 3 world records. The first world record. Oh no, I'm gonna stop. Listen, last take. I don't do good with pre-recorded stuff. Okay, guys. We'll be beating 3 world records, 2 official world records, and 1 official world record. I'm. Alright. Okay, guys. Today we'll be beating 3 world. Okay, guys. Today we'll be. Alright, this is the last one. Okay, guys. Today we'll be beating 3 world records, 2 official world records and 1 unofficial world record. The first official world record is the most sit-ups in under 1 minute. The most sit-ups in under 1 minute. Could you believe it's only 71? So we're going to try to beat that when we start. So this is going to be the first alarm we set. Then, right, the second world record is a guy called Steve. His world record, I'll show you guys that right now. Steve did 1,000 sit-ups in 16 minutes and 37 seconds. So that'll be our second alarm, right? So after we set an alarm for 1 minute, we'll be setting an alarm for 15 minutes and 36 seconds, right? So that we beat that time, right? Because we need to beat that time, right? However, that's the unofficial time. The most official time is Jack LaLanne. He did it in 23 minutes. And it said, hold on. Oh, fuck. It exited out. You get the picture, bro. I showed y'all that like 8 times. So we about to start now. We got my assistant right here. We're going to listen to a book that we've been trying to finish while we get stuff done. I needed her body weight. You get what I'm saying? So she already got 1 world record herself. She caught the most balls in under 1 minute. And I could have just had 100 balls and threw all of them instead of chasing and trying to receive, throwing and trying to receive the same ball. She could have got more than that 18. All right, we're about to start, man. What is the official time? The official time we're going to start is like 65 at 65 minutes. You get what I'm saying? 65. Well, I think that's an hour and 5 minutes. I don't know how YouTube is counting, whether it's minutes or they know hours. All right, so let me see. So I'm gonna turn on this book now and start the timer. Let's say we started around 65. You get what I'm saying? 65 minutes. Ugh. Let me put that right there. Ugh. All right, we're gonna break the first world record. I got a minute on the clock. I'm gonna try to do 72 plus sit-ups, the world record. Oh. So I got a minute on the clock, right? So I'm gonna set this world. I'm gonna set this. Oh my god. We got a minute on this fucking alarm. We gotta do 72 sit-ups in 1 minute to beat the world record for most sit-ups in under 1 minute. Then while we're doing that, I gotta add 15 minutes and 30, let's say 35 seconds, right? Because that means if we keep going and we do 1,000 sit-ups, right? That 1 minute plus the 15 minutes and 30 seconds, that'll be around 16 minutes and 30 seconds, which means we beat the unofficial world record by 7 seconds. But if that don't happen, we still gonna beat Jack LaLanne record at 1,033 sit-ups, and he did it in 23 minutes. So we're about to start now. So I'm gonna set this and I'm gonna listen to this book. I gotta be fast with it. Hopefully the fucking internet do not fucking freeze, bro. If it freeze, I'm gonna have to get up and restart it. And I don't wanna do that. So y'all ready? Let me make sure I'm comfortable. Ugh. Are you guys ready? Get set. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62. So I was late on that. I was late on that. So I'm gonna set this new alarm. 15 minutes, 37, 30 seconds. Alright. Now let me plug out this fucking speaker. Ugh. 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 Bluetooth. It says it's already connected.
Soul than this. You will always find every selfish and undeveloped person trying to domineer over others, to exercise control over other men. Savage men were no sooner placed upon the earth than they began to enslave one another. For ages, the struggle in war, diplomacy, politics, and government has been aimed at the securing of control over other men. Kings and princes have drenched the soil of the earth in blood and tears in the effort to extend their dominions and their power, to rule more people. The struggle of the business world today is the same as that on the battlefields of Europe a century ago, so far as the ruling principle is concerned. Robert G. Ingersoll could not understand why men like Rockefeller and Carnegie seek for more money and make themselves slaves to the business struggle when they already have more than they can possibly use. He thought it a kind of madness and illustrated it as follows. Suppose a man had 50,000 pairs of pants, 75,000 vests, 100,000 coats, and 150,000 neckties. What would you think of him if he arose in the morning before light and worked until after it was dark every day, rain or shine, in all kinds of weather, merely to get another necktie? But it is not a good simile. The possession of neckties gives a man no power over other men, while the possession of dollars does. Rockefeller, Carnegie, and their kind are not after dollars, but power. It is the principle of the Pharisee. It is the struggle for the high place. It develops able men, cunning men, resourceful men, but not great men. I want you to contrast these two ideas of greatness sharply in your minds. He that will be great among you, let him serve. Let me stand before the average American audience and ask the name of the greatest American, and the majority will think of Abraham Lincoln. And is this not because in Lincoln, above all the other men who have served us in public life, we recognize the spirit of service? Not servility, but service. Lincoln was a great man because he knew how to be a great servant. Napoleon, able, cold, selfish, seeking the high places, was a brilliant man. Lincoln was great, Napoleon was not. The very moment you begin to advance and are recognized as one who is doing things in a great way, you will find yourself in danger. The temptation to patronize, advise, or take upon yourself the direction of other people's affairs is sometimes almost irresistible. Avoid, however, the opposite danger of falling into servility, or of completely throwing yourself away in the service of others. To do this has been the ideal of a great many people. The completely self-sacrificing life has been thought to be the Christ-like life because, as I think, of a complete misconception of the character and teachings of Jesus. I have explained this misconception in a little book which I hope you may all sometime read. Thousands of people, imitating Jesus, as they suppose, have belittled themselves and given up all else to go about doing good, practicing an altruism that is really as morbid and as far from great as the rankest selfishness. The finer instincts which respond to the cry of trouble or distress are not by any means all of you. They are not necessarily the best part of you. There are other things you must do besides helping the unfortunate, although it is true that a large part of the life and activities of every great person must be given to helping other people. As you begin to advance, they will come to you. Do not turn them away. But do not make the fatal error of supposing that the life of complete self-abnegation is the way of greatness. To make another point here, let me refer to the fact that Swedenborg's classification of fundamental motives is exactly the same as that of Jesus. He divides all men into two groups, those who live in pure love and those who live in what he calls the love of ruling for the love of self. It will be seen that this is exactly the same as the lust for place and power of the Pharisees. Swedenborg saw this selfish love of power as the cause of all sin. It was the only evil desire of the human heart, from which all other evil desires sprang. Over against this, he places pure love. He does not say love of God or love of man, but merely love. Nearly all religionists make more of love and service to God than they do of love and service to man. But it is a fact that love to God is not sufficient to save a man from the lust for power. For some of the most ardent lovers of the deity have been the worst of tyrants. Lovers of God are often tyrants, and lovers of men are often meddlesome and officious. Chapter 19, A View of Evolution. But how shall we avoid throwing ourselves into altruistic work if we are surrounded by poverty, ignorance, suffering, and every appearance of misery, as very many people are? Those who live where the
401, 402.
Appealingly for aid must find it hard to refrain from continuous giving. Again, there are social and other irregularities, injustices done to the weak, which fire generous souls with an almost irresistible desire to set things right. We want to start a crusade. We feel that the wrongs will never be righted until we give ourselves wholly to the task. In all this, we must fall back upon the point of view. We must remember that this is not a bad world, but a good world in the process of becoming. Beyond all doubt, there was a time when there was no life upon this earth. The testimony of geology to the fact that the globe was once a ball of burning gas and molten rock, clothed about with boiling vapors, is indisputable. And we do not know how life could have existed under such conditions. That seems impossible. Geology tells us that later on a crust formed, the globe cooled and hardened, the vapors condensed and became mist or fell in rain. The cooled surface crumbled into soil, moisture accumulated, ponds and seas were gathered together, and at last, somewhere in the water or on the land appeared something that was alive. It is reasonable to suppose that this first life was in single-celled organisms. But behind these cells was the insistent urge of spirit, the great one life seeking expression. And soon, organisms having too much life to express themselves with one cell had two cells, and then many, and still more life was poured into them. Multiple-celled organisms were formed, plants, trees, vertebrates, and mammals, many of them with strange shapes, but all were perfect after their kind, as everything is that God makes. No doubt there were crude and almost monstrous forms of both animal and plant life, but everything filled its purpose in its day, and it was all very good. Then another
That's
day,
500.
the great day of the evolutionary process, a day when the morning
Got 7 minutes left.
stars sang together, and the sons of God shouted for joy to behold the beginning of the end, for man, the object aimed at
7 minutes left. 7 minutes left.
from the beginning, had appeared upon the scene. An ape-like being, little different from the beasts around him in appearance, but infinitely different in his capacity for growth and thought. Art and beauty, architecture and song, poetry and music, all these were unrealized possibilities in that ape-man's soul. And for his time and kind, he was very good. It is God that worketh in you to will and to do of his good pleasure, says St. Paul. From the day the first man appeared, God began to work in men, putting more and more of himself into each succeeding generation, urging them on to larger achievements and to better conditions, social, governmental, and domestic. Those who, looking back into ancient history, see the awful conditions which existed, the barbarities, idolatries, and sufferings, and reading about God in connection with these things are disposed to feel that he was cruel and unjust to man, should pause to think. From the ape man to the coming Christ man, the race has had to rise, and it could only be accomplished by the successive unfoldments of the various powers and possibilities latent in the human brain. Naturally, the cruder and more animal-like part of man came to its full development first. For ages, men were brutal. Their governments were brutal. Their religions were brutal. Their domestic institutions were brutal. And what appears to be an immense amount of suffering...
600 push-up. 600 sit-up.
But God never delighted in suffering. And in every age, he has given men a message, telling them how to avoid it. And all the while, the urge of life, insistent, powerful, compelling, made the race keep moving forward. A little less brutality in each age, and a little more spirituality in each age. And God kept on working in man. In every age, there have been some individuals who were in advance of the mass, and who heard and understood God better than their fellows. Upon these, the inspiring hand of Spirit was laid, and they were compelled to become interpreters. These were the prophets and seers, sometimes the priests and kings, and oftener still, they were martyrs driven to the stake, the block, or the cross. It is to these who have heard God, spoken his word, and demonstrated his truth in their lives that all progress is really due. Again, considering for a moment the presence of what is called evil in the world, we see that which appears to us to be evil is only undeveloped, and that the undeveloped is perfectly good in its own stage and place, because all things are necessary to man's complete unfoldment. All things in human life are the work of God. The graft rings in our cities, the red light districts and their unfortunate inmates. These he consciously and voluntarily produced. Their part in the plan of unfoldment must be played. And when their part has been played, he will sweep them off the stage as he did the strange and poisonous monsters which filled the swamps of the past ages. In concluding this vision of evolution, we might ask why it was all done. What is it for?
700 push-up.
It would be easy for the thoughtful mind to answer. God desired to express himself, to live in form, and not only that, but to live in a form through which he could express himself on the highest moral and spiritual plane. God wanted to evolve a form in which he could live as a God and manifest himself as a God. This was the aim of the evolutionary force. The ages of warfare, bloodshed, suffering, injustice, and cruelty were tempered in many ways with love and justice as time advanced. And this was developing the brain of man to a point where it should be capable of giving full expression to the love and justice of God. The end is not yet. God aims not at the perfection of a few choice specimens for exhibition, like the large berries at the top of the box, but at the glorification of the race. The time will come when the kingdom of God shall be established on earth, the time foreseen by the dreamer of the Isle of Patmos, when there shall be no more crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are all passed away, and there shall be no night there. Chapter 20, Serving God. I have brought you thus far through the two preceding chapters with a view to finally settling the question of duty. This is one that puzzles and perplexes very many people who are earnest and sincere, and gives them a great deal of difficulty in its solution. When they start out to make something of themselves and to practice the science of being,
800 sit-ups.
they find themselves necessarily compelled to rearrange many of their relationships. There are friends who perhaps must be alienated. There are relatives who misunderstand and who feel that they are in some way being slighted. The really great man is often considered selfish by a large circle of people who are connected with him and who feel that he might bestow upon them more benefits than he does. The question at the outset is my duty to make the most of myself regardless of everything else? Or shall I wait until I can do so without any friction or without causing loss to anyone? This is the question of duty to self versus duty to others. One's duty to the world has been thoroughly discussed in the preceding pages, and I give some consideration now to the idea of duty to God. An immense number of people have a great deal of uncertainty, not to say anxiety, as to what they ought to do for God. The amount of work and service that is done for him in these United States in the way of church work and so on is enormous. An immense amount of human energy is expended in what is called serving God. I propose to consider briefly what serving God is and how a man may serve God best. And I think I shall be able to make plain that the convention
900 sit-ups.
that constitutes service to God is all wrong. When Moses went down into Egypt to bring out the Hebrews from bondage, his demand upon Pharaoh in the name of the deity was, "Let the people go that they may serve me." He led them out into the wilderness, and there instituted a new form of worship which has led many people to suppose that worship constitutes the service of God, although later God himself distinctly declared that he cared nothing for ceremonies, burned offerings, or oblation, and the teaching of Jesus, if rightfully understood, would...
Alright. That's 950. So, when it comes to the unofficial world record, we lost by 50. Fucking internet keeps stopping. Anyway, we got the world record on live. Stopping. Anyway, I just got 100 more to get to my 1300 goal. I just got 100 more to get to my 1300 goal.
And that, it seems to me, disposes of the question of duty. There are one or two other things which might be disposed of in closing this chapter. I have written of opportunity in a preceding chapter. I have said in a general way that it is within the power of every man to become great, just as in the science of getting rich. Just as in the science of getting rich, I declare that it is within the power of every man to become rich. But these sweeping generalizations need qualifying. There are men who have such materialistic minds that they are absolutely incapable of comprehending the philosophy set forth in these books. There is a great mass of men and women who have lived and worked until they are practically incapable of thought along these lines, and they cannot receive the message. Something may be done for them by demonstration, that is, by living the life before them. But that is the only way they can be aroused. The world needs demonstration more than it needs teaching. For this mass of people, our duty is to become as great in personality as possible in order that they may see and desire to do likewise. It is our duty to make ourselves great for their sakes, so that we may help prepare the world that the next generation shall have better conditions for thought. One other point. I am frequently written to by people who wish to make something of themselves and to move out into the world, but who are hampered by home ties, having others more or less dependent upon them, who they fear would suffer if left alone. In general, I advise such people to move out fearlessly and to make the most of themselves. If there is a loss at home...
Alright, so we beat the official record for the most sit-ups in one. We beat the world record. The previous world record was 1,033 sit-ups in 23 minutes, right? So let me show y'all this. Uh, uh. Alright, guys. So we got on record. We beat the world record. Give me 1 second. Come on, hurry up and load. You see how she helped me out with her body weight and then she got off when I'm done? Okay. So the fastest world record, you guys can see, it was previously, before this, but for today, it was Jack LaLanne at 1,033 sit-ups in 23 minutes. When I first started this, I put a minute timer on, right? And I was able to do 66 sit-ups in 1 minute. His average sit-ups he did in 1 minute was 45. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, I documented my time, right? So I done it in, because when we was, so I was trying to go after the unofficial world record at 16. You get what I'm saying? He did it in 16 minutes, which is unofficial. It's not even like on video, right? So I tried to beat that, but I pretty much was short of that by 50 sit-ups. Do you get what I'm saying? And actually, bruh, I think I probably tied it because he did it in 16 and 37. I did it in 16. I probably tied it, bruh. I'm gonna go back and look at this shit. Oh, no. I didn't tie it. I was down by 50. You get what I'm saying? But that's the unofficial one. But here was my time. So we gotta add a minute. We gotta add a minute and 27 seconds to 16:37. You get what I'm saying? So let's add it up right now. We got 16:37 plus, bro. I'm gonna just do it like this so you guys can see. So this was the official time, my official time. So I did 1,000 sit-ups in 17 minutes and 44 seconds, right? So now we gotta see how much, like how many minutes did I beat the official world record by? You get what I'm saying? All right, guys. So we beat the world record by 5 minutes and 10 seconds. The official world record for 1,000 sit-ups, right? And remind you, I did 1,300. Was 5 minutes and 16 seconds, right? So the official world record for 1,033 sit-ups was 23 minutes. My record was 17 minutes, right? So it was 17 minutes and 44 seconds. So that means I beat the official world record by 5 minutes and 16 seconds, and I did it live. You get what I'm saying? The unofficial world record. You get what I'm saying? You would say, let me see. The unofficial world record. So as far as the unofficial world record, right, where he don't even have a video for it, I lost by 1 minute and 7 seconds. You get what I'm saying? But I still got the official one. So I officially have the record for the fastest time in the whole world. You get what I'm saying? So I did 1,000 push-ups, the fastest in the entire world. So that we have it for today. We may do a IRL stream in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, in a few. But I just wanted to break that world record. But you guys don't forget to work out today.